I want to talk about three things today. Number one is routine. You have got to have a routine. If you go to bed at night and you don't know what you're going to do the next day, you have laid the foundation for failure. If you go to bed on Sunday and you don't really know what your plan for the week is, you have, again, created a situation in which it's probable that you will not succeed. So you've got to get a routine. Know what you're going to do when you get out of bed in the morning. I know what I'm going to do. Tomorrow when I wake up, I jolt myself awake, I get really happy, and I roll over and I start writing because that's my passion. Basketball used to be my passion, now writing's my passion. So I roll over and I start writing. And I do that, and I know if I get that done, that the rest of the day I've done something that's incredibly important to me, and if something crazy happens and my schedule gets completely askew, I've done the thing that I love the most. So I do that. The second thing I do is I do my spiritual and psychological practice, which is a lot like the drills you guys do in BasketballBrain, except I do it for business and just my mental well-being. And it really gets me in the zone every day. You know, when you get done with BasketballBrain, you can check out my other products, dylanfried.com. That's what you'll need too. You need the same type of mentality in business, in school, in your job. You know, whenever you're done playing basketball, this stuff translates and you can go even deeper. You can do even more because it's not just basketball focused. So that's my routine. Your body needs a routine. You need to get up around the same time every day. You need to go to bed around the same time every day. You can make exceptions, of course. On the weekends, you know, if you want to go out with your friends and have fun, you can go do that. However, most of the time, let's say 90% of the time, 85% of the time, you have got to have a routine. Winners have routines. You see these articles everywhere online, billionaires' morning routine, you know, and I think it's like Business Insider, they're constantly listing routines. Listen, I was into the routines of winners before these guys came around, okay? I've been studying great people my entire life, and I'm always looking for what they do, how they tick, model them, steal their recipes. I'm trying to steal from successful people. When I played basketball, I've told this story a few times, but there was a McDonald's All-American I played against. He averaged 42 points a game. After the game, I went up to him, I said, "How many shots do you shoot? You know, what do you do? How often do you run?" After I said, "Good game," that was my question. And most successful people are really willing to help you because they have a little bit of pride about it, and they also know something. You know what else successful people know? They know that you could do it too. They know that it's not that they're special or unique really, it's that they work in a special and unique way. And that if you do it, you might enjoy the success that they're currently enjoying. So that's number one. Get a routine. Start writing your day down. Get a notebook. If you come into my office, I have a shelf of notebooks going back years where it's every single day is my day planner. So if I want to know what I did on, you know, July 7th, 2011, I can go to my 2011 book, open it up, and I can tell you exactly what I did that day. Now, average people say that's a little bit obsessive compulsive. Rare people see the genius in it, and there's a source of pride in being that organized. Okay, number two thing I want to talk about is the idea of doing things the wrong way. I see so many guys in the gym, and I see so many young players, and I see this in business, and I see this in relationships. I see it everywhere, but people practice getting bad. They practice a lot at getting bad. A great example of this is Lonzo Ball. You know, maybe he'll work it out. There are those rare exceptions to the rule where you violate the laws of physics and you end up being successful. But most of the time, you have to practice the right way. You got to get good form and put a lot of reps in. Somebody in the comment section the other day was saying it doesn't help to shoot 1,000 shots a day if you're shooting with bad form. That's 100% true. It's better to shoot 300 where you're meticulously working on your form, paying attention to it, using all of your kinesiological senses to make sure the elbow's in, the ball's on your fingertips, you're extending completely and holding your follow through. You know, when you first start, this is a little aside, I'm going to do another video on this. When you first start with, you know, working on your form, most of your concentration and focus is on your physicality and how it's moving. As you advance, you become more aim-oriented, you become more target-oriented, you get more visual. What we try to do is do a little bit of both at the same time, but if you're just working on your form, you want to get into your body and feel the muscles and feel the movement, and then it starts to become unconscious and subconscious, and you slowly shift to vision. But that's a bit of an aside. I'm going to do another video on the process of getting better at skills and how your concentration shifts. dependent upon where you're at in what skill level you're at. Beginners are mostly body focused. As you become more expert, you become more vision oriented. So once again, I see a lot of people who take bad habits and become perfectionists of their bad habits. I call it climbing the ladder to failure. Everybody wants to hurry up and start climbing the ladder and, get to the top. So they're like, I'm going to go shoot 1,000 shots. And they lean their ladder against the wrong building. They climb up the ladder, they get there, and they look and they go, oh, I climbed the wrong building, because now their form's messed up and they have a lot more to undo. So take my advice, it's really good advice. Do not climb the ladder of failure, climb the ladder of success. The third thing I want to talk about is, and I hear the quote all the time, and I'm sure you do too, is that a champion is all heart. Well, of course a champion is all heart. They leave it all on the floor. They go all out. Every game they play like their last. That's how champions play. That said, there's a lie in that as well. A champion plays with all his heart and all his head. If you play with all heart, here's what happens. Sometimes you go out, I'm going to play this like it's my very last game. Well, you end up over trying, because if it's your last game, you might do some irrational things. You may not play in the rhythm of the game. You may come out too amped up, geeked out, and you don't know exactly how to control that. So winners play with all their heart, but their mind's involved too. So the mind's sort of channeling the energy of the heart. The mind's making sure that everything stays in control. And it does this, if you've taken the program without necessarily thinking, it does it by allowing the subconscious to come forth, all the practice you've poured in to start to manifest in your game. So those are the three things I wanted to talk about. Number one, get a routine if you don't have it. It'll really help you. Your body will thank you, your mind will thank you, and your game will thank you. Number two, make sure you're not building ladders to failure. When you start working on a skill, make sure you're doing it properly. Make sure you're getting good coaching and you build a ladder and it's against the right building. Don't build a ladder to failure. And number three, yes, champions have all heart, but champions are all heart and head too. And you think about certain players, how they've matured. Westbrook played with all heart when he first started, and he still kind of does some games. And when he does that, he's not as good as when he plays with all heart and all head. LeBron's played all head sometimes, and he didn't have enough heart, and that's hurt him. So you got to be all heart and all head. I'm going to do another video on this topic because I think it's fascinating. And definitely don't be an average player who plays with no heart and no head and just goes out there and is kind of out there to be out there. You know what I mean? I'm going to do another video on this topic because it's fascinating about the difference between the heart and the head and how they work together and combine together. If you want, check out BasketballBrain.com. The full program's there. I added a feature because some of you guys were saying you were short on cash. You can make 3 payments of $9 rather than one $27 payment. I know a lot of you guys are in high school, some of you guys are in college, and you don't have a ton of money. So I hope that helps. Check it out, basketballbrain.com. We're dedicated to your greatness.